So wow, $1,400 stimulus checks and even $500 stimulus checks are being mailed and automatically deposited for many people that meet the recently released eligibility requirements. So states are also now providing extra monthly benefit boost to their residents to help with the rising cost of living. Everybody, you want to make sure to stay tuned until the end of this video to learn if you're eligible for a $1,400 and $500 stimulus check from President Biden and many states. Now, stimulus payments from states continue to flow in. More and more people, everybody, in several different cities and states are working on some proposals to offer stimulus cash to residents. Now, the latest state to do this is the state of Minnesota. Once approved, the Minnesota stimulus check proposal was going to offer $500 to residents meeting the eligibility criteria. State Representative Dan Wolgamott, working along with other Minnesota representatives, have introduced this proposal. Now, according to this new stimulus bill, it would give a Minnesota stimulus check of $500, everybody. So while couples filing jointly would get a one-time payment of $1,000, the state would use the budget surplus to send out the Minnesota stimulus checks. Let's not forget about this. In an official press release, state lawmakers stated, with a $9.25 billion surplus, we can afford to make direct payments to taxpayers while also investing in the critical needs of our state. We are proud to work with Governor Walz to put money in the pockets of Minnesotans as families cope with unprecedented rising prices and economic challenges. Folks, once the approval is approved, eligible residents in this state will start getting the checks in their mailboxes by late summer. And to qualify for the payment, people need to be a resident of the state in 2020, file their 2020 tax returns by October 15, 2021, as well as claim taxes and refunds in 2021 for property taxes paid to our rent taxes in 2020. Now let's not forget about this. Single filers who earn more than $164,000 will not qualify for the Minnesota stimulus check. Similarly, the head of households with taxable income of more than $218,540 and married individuals filing returns separately with income of more than $136,000 are not going to qualify for the stimulus checks. But folks, listen to this. The governor in the state believes the relief under a gas tax holiday would be much slower than sending a direct stimulus payment. Now, on the other hand, Republicans who control the Minnesota Senate prefer permanent income tax cuts, and many other states have decided to suspend their gas tax temporarily to offset the impact of rising gas prices. For instance, Connecticut Governor Ned Lamont signed emergency legislation. Now, this calls for suspending the state's 0.25% gallon tax from April 1st to June 30th. Some other states like Maryland and Georgia have also temporarily suspended their state's gas tax. Is your state doing the same, everybody? Has your state suspended their gas tax? And if you think they should, tell me in the comments below. Now, one benefits program in the nation that helps low-income and medium-income families is the SNAP program. So we all know at the crisis, SNAP benefits were increased in most states. But as the crisis goes into its second year, it's now up to each state to decide how to run for it. Many states, folks, can actually still give out extra payments if they wish to their residents. These states include Alabama, Illinois, Maine, New Jersey, Michigan, North Carolina, and Virginia, and many much more. The USDA has already granted waivers to several of these states to continue providing extra food stamps to their residents. Let's not forget about this, everybody. Since April 2021, all households in the states with these benefits have received emergency allotments of at least $95. Households will automatically receive any SNAP benefits on their EBT card. Other state governors are providing rent and mortgage relief assistance as well. The governor actually proposed a newly proposed budget in the state of New York. Outside of New York City, property owners will receive an average rebate of $970, while in New York City, owners will get rebates averaging $425.
For the Department of Health and Human Services, a hybrid hearing, so we need to address a few housekeeping matters. For the members who are joining virtually, once you start speaking, there is a slight delay before you are displayed on the main screen. Speaking into the microphone activates the camera. Displaying the speaker on the main screen. Do not stop your remarks if you do not immediately see the screen switch. If the screen does not change after several seconds, please make sure that you are not muted. To minimize background noise and ensure the correct speaker is being displayed, we ask that you remain on mute unless you have sought recognition. The chair or an individual designated by the chair may mute participants' microphones when they are not under recognition to eliminate inadvertent background noise. Members who are virtual are responsible for muting and unmuting themselves. Finally, the House rules require me to remind you that we have set up an email address to which members can send anything they wish to submit in writing at any of our hearings. That email address has been provided in advance to your staff. With that, I want to acknowledge the ranking member of the subcommittee, Congressman Tom Cole, and all of the members of the subcommittee who are joining today's hearing, both virtually and in person. And I would like to welcome my friend and former colleague, Secretary Javier Becerra, in his first in-person hearing of this subcommittee as Secretary of the Department of Health and Human Services. So you joined us virtually last year, of course, but there's nothing like being in person and being able to interact with people. So a very, very, very warm welcome this morning. Today, I'm looking forward to discussing HHS's fiscal year 2023 budget, which builds on the historic progress we made in the fiscal year 2022 appropriations package. In the fiscal year 2022 omnibus, we increased funding for biomedical research, public health, behavioral health, child care and early learning, prevention of child abuse and family violence, and the list goes on. And through these investments, we are able to bring transformational change to millions of hardworking American families. Let me take a second here before I go on to say a thank you to my colleagues on both sides of the dais and those who are virtual today, and a really heartfelt thanks for our work together in passing the 2022 omnibus. And Congressman Cole, I want to say a particular thank you to you for your good offices in all of this. I think we have a bill that we can be enormously proud of. And I would also say that there weren't a lot of folks who thought we were going to get across the finish line, but we showed them. So, and all done by March 8th, you know, when the deadline that they kept changing on us. So, but thank you all very, very, very much for your hard work. And again, a thanks to the staff as well for getting us there. We strengthened in the omnibus bill the Center for Disease Control and Prevention by supporting the public health workforce, continuing to modernize public health data systems, creating a new funding mechanism to support core public health activities at the state and local level. We made strong transformational investments in maternal health with increased funding for NIH research on maternal mortality through the IMPROVE initiative for the Health Resources and Services Administration's Maternal and Health Child Health Block Grant, and Maternal Mental Health Hotline, and for the CDC's Maternal Mortality Review Committees, just to name a few.